Welcome to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen. I actually got relatives in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania right now. Unfortunately, I can't go and visit them because of my injury, but at least they're there. But anyway, when you look at this show was trying to make up for what the WWE has been doing for the last couple of weeks. And it's a mess. When it comes down to it, there's some good things in the show. But when they did Roadblock, they really messed themselves up. They divided their attention between trying to build somewhat to WrestleMania and then doing Roadblock all by itself. And when you look at the show, and I did a review on it, they tried to do things that really should have been put in WrestleMania. And WrestleMania was barely even prevalent in the show. But the matches and some of the build for it should have been on WrestleMania. So it was stupid. So when you look at this show, they tried to make up for it. And it felt like it missed the mark. Of course, there were some good things in the show. Let's talk about Bootios and the New Day. I still don't like the unicorn bit. I don't. I think it's really dumb. A lot of people don't like it. The Sleg Daddy doesn't like it at all. Deluxe Man doesn't really like it. I haven't heard Fool Killer talk about it because he doesn't usually talk about WWE. But I'm taking a guess he doesn't like it either. And to be honest, I don't like it. It really doesn't make any sense with these guys. But they're still making it work. And then they got the merch for Bootios. I looked at WWE.com and they have a shirt in a box that looks like a cereal. I would have liked, what is it? I can't remember the name of Kellogg's Corn Flakes, the original company who produces it. But I would have liked them to do this. They could still produce the shirt on WWE.com. But it would have been smart to go to the people who produces Kellogg's Corn Flakes or Kellogg's Special K and all the other cereals and say, look, we want to produce a limited run in certain states of Bootios. You can make it like Lucky Charms in the shapes of booty. It makes no difference what it is. But if they had produced it before WrestleMania, you would have given more interest to the product. That's just me. If it's a limited run in a couple of states and people heard about it, I really believe they would get a big boost. In fact, I think they should be producing cereals anyways. What is it? Kellogg's 19 always got some type of sports guy on it. You could be doing it with wrestling. But did this segment go well? It did. Did the match with the League of Nations, I don't know what they're calling themselves. Essentially speaking, this match led to the heelish New Day turning face. And I really believe they made a serious mistake on that. I believe they should have stayed heels. Of course, you still see Xavier Woods get the pin on Rusev, cheating. But I really believe it was not necessary to turn them face. Unless I'm wrong and they're still heels. But they seem to be faces now, and I really don't like that. Let's do the Ryback thing. Ryback with Sin Cara. The only reason I'm mentioning this is because now Ryback is going after Kalisto to get the title. It really feels like Ryback is being forced to be a heel when he's really not. By the WWE. He was doing well by himself as a face. People really want him as a face. And now they're giving him heelish or something similar to it, and it's just not working for me personally. And then you're trying to do the story of him trying to convince Kalisto to go on his own, which I still believe Kalisto is going to eventually deal with Sin Cara in a match. And you guys tell me about Sin Cara. He does not look like he's exercising. I do not believe Hunico is in good shape. He looks bad. He looks really flabby. And you would expect Hunico, who is Sin Cara, who is seen mostly on a regular basis, now he came back from his shoulder injury, to look a little more cut. He really doesn't look muscular, and he doesn't look like he's in good shape. That's just me. Miz versus Sami Zayn. I have a problem with this. Because the way they did this felt like The Miz, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens is going to be a match in WrestleMania. Particularly when you hear Michael Cole say, who is Kevin Owens going up against now? Are you seriously trying to turn this into a triple threat, WWE? Because you don't think Sami Zayn can carry it with Kevin Owens, you're going to throw The Miz into it. Doesn't that sound a little familiar, ladies and gentlemen? Didn't we have something with The Miz dealing with Ryback and The Big Show? That is something we don't need, and it does not utilize The Miz anyway. That's just me. The Outcasts. I don't have an image for that. I don't really want to do an image. Their little segment doing Burger King was a bit funny. The match with them and the Usos really just culminated in the Usos dealing with the Dudleys. And here's the problem for me. I love the Usos. I still love them. I want to see them succeed and be really back in the position they were before. They were selling really good merch and people loved them. WWE's dropped them. And now teaming them up with the Dudleys, who have not been booked very well either, is not helping. I just feel like they're not in a high position anymore. And I feel like they're being dropped. You guys tell me below if I'm wrong, because it feels like it. Here's another thing kind of dealing with the Usos, and that's Team Bad. Team Bad had a match against Brie and Alicia Fox. Lana comes out. Lana helps Team Bad to win. Now it seems that Lana, in a backstage segment, seems to be now becoming affiliated and possibly becoming a member of Team Bad. When has Team Bad become the training ground for anyone who's trying to get over? When do we turn a Tamina and a Naomi into a team that will get divas over, but not themselves? I'm saying this clearly. What the fuck is going on here? Naomi has great ability. Tamina, no matter if women or men think she's bullshit, does have ability. She's fucking Superfly's daughter. She should have already received the title a while ago. What is going on here when it comes to Charlotte with her dad, but when it comes to Tamina and her dad, nothing is seen, nothing is done. This is bullshit, and I'm saying it now. I'm going to keep saying it. And if no one likes it, you tell me a reason below why I shouldn't be mad about Tamina or Naomi doing shit. Because this is shit. Now, the Goldust and I made a mistake on my roadblock. I was saying Stardust is Goldust. The reason I'm doing this is because Cody's not doing anything, and now Goldust is not doing anything. When you look at this segment with the Penguin, what? The problem here is that they switched sides, and they should have never done that. They should have left it as Goldust still trying to be friends and trying to be teamed up with R-Truth. Now that they flipped the script, it's not working. And I don't care anymore. I want to see someone who is a well-established star try to get someone who should be more higher and should be getting more out of it as the one he has to go to. Now that they flipped it, I don't care anymore. And that's sad. Now, here's the last few things going to be talked about. Chris Jericho dealing with Neville. Chris Jericho getting DQ'd because he got so angry he couldn't beat Neville. Chris Jericho saying a very long, lengthy, well, somewhat lengthy promo segment, saying simply that he's better than AJ, and even though he is getting AJ Styles over, and that real Superman punch, I'm pointing to it right now. That real Superman punch is the real one that can only be done by an AJ Styles. I'm sorry, I know that Roman Reigns is not bad doing his Superman punch, but the AJ phenomenal forearm should be called the Superman punch, because if he does that every single time, he really does look like Superman. He just does. And Roman really needs another move. You just see the difference between Roman Reigns and an AJ Styles. I'm sorry. And that leads me to the few segments that are left. Actually, I got more than just a few segments. We have Dean Ambrose dealing with a Mick Foley. And I really felt like this was really good for Dean. I would love to see Dean have Mick Foley as his manager. I really believe he can get him over big time because they do have some similar styles of attitude. Of course, Mick Foley's way better than a Dean. But Dean can really benefit from him being his manager. And seeing the bat with the barbed wire kind of makes me think of the Abyss, and that kind of scares me. I'm not going to show the bat because it's not really necessary here. The scene itself is more important. But I'm glad that it happened. 2 left. This is all I'm going to focus on now. You have... Oh man, this was bad. This was bad. You got Triple H and Stephanie dealing with Dolph Ziggler. I don't know what it is that there are points when it comes to the WWE that they want to throw something at Dolph and give everyone a bone. And it's like they're saying, okay, we're actually going to push this guy and just let to see if the crowd would really want him if he had a strong title. Which would be the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. He had the World Championship and they dropped it with him within about a few weeks to a month. He never really had time to show what he can truly do. He had, who did he have? He had AJ and then he had Vicky. No way do we ever know if the guy could really make it on his own. I'm not a big Dolph Ziggler fan, even though people are going to say, oh please you are. I'm not. I'm saying that if people want to see him somewhere, throw him out on the main title scene and let him work with the big guys for a while and see if the people even cheer for him. See if the merch will sell. See if people will get into the freaking seats. No. Every time they've thrown him into the main title scene, like they did 2 years ago, like about a year after that when he had the WWE World title, they drop him like a hot potato. And then that's what's making the people want to see him. Because every time they throw him up there and then drop him, people think he must have great potential. We don't know if he does. We don't. He's a good worker and he has some decent mic skills, but when it comes down to it, we really do not know what we're dealing with him. And then you're thrown with Triple H. Triple H already had a match with Dean Ambrose. And it was a good match. Triple H now had a Dolph Ziggler match. Tell me where Dolph Ziggler's going to go from here. Nowhere. Because the entire segment after that was Triple H getting his ass handed to him by a Roman Reigns, and people did not care, Bailey. There were a few people cheering, but the majority of them were booing and they were angry to see him. They weren't even cheering Triple H. They weren't. You would think they would cheer Triple H. You would think after seeing the scenes of Triple H getting his head busted open, they would be cheering big time for Triple H to get back at him. But they weren't. Triple H literally wasn't cheered for. And neither was Roman Reigns. In fact, a lot more people were booing for Roman Reigns than they cared about Triple H. Because nobody wants to see Roman. This is where the WWE fucked up seriously bad. They tried to throw Roman Reigns down our throat, and then they take him off TV. And then they decide to put him on one of the 4 that is one of the most famous for the crowds to be known highly verbal. And not only did Triple H not get over, Roman Reigns did not get over. Even though it wasn't a bad segment that he kicked Triple H's ass. It wasn't that bad. But you guys tell me below. The Usos, Jack Swagger, and Mark Henry could not stop him from hitting Triple H in the back with a TV. They didn't even hold his ass. What? That made no sense. They should have grabbed his ass and then let him struggle out to hurt a Triple H. They're just telling him, don't do it, Us. Don't do it, Us. That's stupid. That was stupid. And that didn't help this segment at all. Finally, the last thing I'm going to talk about, which is the focus of this show. Big Evil is Vince's bitch. Oh my goodness. We've been waiting to see the collision of Shane O'Mac and The Taker for a while. They should have done this earlier. They should have had them both on the show together. And they should have had more than just a few segments. Instead of just maybe about a minute or two and then they're both gone. Like I said in the last Raw, Shane should have been there longer. And the one before that, even though I felt that Taker did an alright job, I did see everyone else's review of it and they felt like he should have been there longer. And now we're really thinking about it, they're correct. I was wrong about that. Even though I did feel like it was effective, he should have been seen more throughout the night. Now we get the most important match of the entire WrestleMania. Who is going to control Raw? It wasn't a bad segment. It was a good segment. Hearing that Big Evil is Vince's bitch really hit home how much Vince McMahon is supposed to be manipulative. And that he threw his own son to not Triple H, I'm getting Triple H and Taker mixed up. Because in kind of a sense, they're kind of in the same boat. Triple H's match is not going to mean that much compared to the Shane O'Mac and Taker match. But they're trying to really emphasize the battle between Vince and Shane O'Mac. And that kind of makes Undertaker minimized. Even though Undertaker made it very clear after he chokeslammed Shane O'Mac, I'm no one to control. And Vince jumps out of the ring. But here's the problem. You are doing that, Vince. And this should be about Undertaker. Who knows if this is his last match? I don't think it is, because he's not announced for the Hall of Fame. And it's not stated that he's retiring. So maybe he'll do WrestleMania 33. But here, it feels like The Undertaker's not the most important person here. It's Vince and Shane. And I really believe they're making a mistake here. They're making a big mistake. I know it's important to emphasize that Vince will lose control of Raw. And Shane could get control of it. But if you're going to make this all about Vince and about Shane, you should have let them both be in Hell in a Cell. Because, really, Undertaker's really being ignored here. This is all about those two. And I feel like it's wrong for this match. But this is just my point of view. You guys tell me below. And I hope you enjoyed the Zane view. Please give me a comment below. Watch for my next video, which will be the last of Mark Henry. I'm sorry that these booking the wrestlers are a little late. I've actually been... It's kind of hard to actually edit this stuff and put the images in. I'm actually considering may stop, but I really kind of like it because it really helps to emphasize what I'm talking about. But I'm going to do what I can to get more booking wrestlers out. You guys have a good day and have a good night. Peace!